Hello and welcome to the video. My name is Wade Daniel Smith, and I just saw, and it occurs to me, but I think it was yesterday that I saw a new estimate of the government, federal government deficit and debt is at a little over 38 trillion already, and they're supposedly spending about 1 trillion in deficit spending per quarter now. Is how bad the spending in the hole has gotten. Um, there is a harsh reality coming to the United States for both political parties, for both the rich and the poor. The government is going to collapse if they don't raise taxes on the sinfully rich people, because the millionaires and billionaires are the only people who have money. Um, but at the same time, they're going to have to stop earned income credit because they're giving over $200 billion per year with a B to freeloaders who fake their tax returns and always seem to have exactly the sweet spot on the earned income credit. I know because I used to do taxes. Uh, I quit because I refused to do their tax returns. They always have it to the exact penny or the exact dollar anyway of what the perfect sweet spot is to maximize earned income credit. And they file false head of household claims when they don't qualify for head of household, and they all have head of household with the perfect earned income credit to the dollar to get the maximum amount, which the likelihood that you made exactly to the dollar, when because what they do is they file fake Schedule C returns where they claim that they cut hair on the side or they do some other cash income on the side, but they have no receipts to prove what their income was or wasn't. They're just maximizing their earned income credit returns. So they're stealing, in other words. So they need to do away with earned income credit and all refundable child tax credits. You should not be paying poor people who are not capable of raising children to raise children. It's just a simple fact of life. If you're too poor to raise your children, you shouldn't have children. All right. So you can cut 200 billion a year or more by cutting earned income credit and refundable child tax credits. And then you're going to have to raise taxes on everybody because other countries don't do all this stuff for poor people. For example, China, you pay 3% no matter how poor you are. In the United States, the federal government is paying people a third of their entire paycheck in earned income credit and refundable child tax credits for the bottom third of the population. They can't afford basics, but the women all have their hair done and their nails done. But they can't afford food because of their own food stamps. So there's a harsh reality coming for everyone in this country. When the government collapses and all the freeloaders that have never had a paying job in their lives or never had a good paying job in their lives are going to get cut too. But they're going to have to tax the rich people because the rich people have 90% of the money. How is everybody else supposed to pay taxes when 90% of the accumulated wealth is owned by the top 10% of the population and they don't want to pay taxes? And I'm a registered Republican now, by the way. The reason I registered as a Republican is so I can vote in the Republican primary, because the Democrat Party supports abortion and LGBTQ nonsense and all this other immorality that I don't want to be a part of anymore. I flat out don't want to be a part of it and don't want to vote for a candidate who's going to support any of that. But it's a fact of life that the top 10% of people in the United States have 90% of the accumulated wealth in the United States. And it's probably more like 99% because they're probably not even reporting their wealth correctly. When you pay LeBron James $50 million a year to play basketball and you pay a doctor less than $1 million a year to save people's lives, something's wrong with that picture. No offense to basketball players, I like basketball, but basketball players should not be paid more than medical doctors. A harsh reality is coming for everyone. When the government collapses and Medicare and Medicaid go to crap, you're not going to be able to afford any medical care. It'll be like it was 500 years ago. You'll just die when you get sick. You're not going to be able to afford to have all these computer gadgets because the dollar is going to tank so bad that we're going to have a recession and a depression like there's never been in world history. Somebody's got to pay all that money back to the banks that they borrowed it from, or the banks are going to go belly up. Who's going to pay all that back? They're the only people that's got money is the millionaires and billionaires.